again to this episode of Zero to Hero. I hope all you grid travelers have found the right podcast to listen to. Okay, I think I'm tuned in. What about you? And welcome to another episode of Zero to Hero. I'm Billy Dash Jim Buggard. How'd you like that intro, huh?
The fuck? I'm gonna throw that
Come on, Jimmy. Words. Speak words.
We're doing it again.
All right. So, as we are now going through, can you believe it's almost middle of the month of January?
Yeah, as recording this, it's January 11th. It's almost there. Yeah. 4 days
it's
off.
Almost there. That's crazy.
Man, we got that first off and the second off. That was great. We need more of that. Lots more.
So as we progress through this month, talking about leadership in the Power Ranger series, we want to go a little bit further. So we want to talk about a little bit in space and the transition from Tommy to TJ, and then how it leads into in space, because in space is going to be the first season that we get where they're going to basically be, I would say 50-50, like 50-50 off-world. So this is going to be the first time where they're going to be taken off the planet.
We also want to say that in space is the first time we don't have a true, head in a jar. Makes any sense?
Yeah. Okay. That's a fair point.
There's no supervisor.
Yeah, there's no Zordon, no Dulcia, nothing. So.
It's an alpha, but, there's also a ship that has a brain of its own called Deca, but it's not really the same.
Not the same.
Before we get to that, we got some house cleaning to do real quick.
Don't call it house cleaning.
Get your brooms out. Let's go.
That's it. There you go.
All right. Keep an eye out. We're going to be doing some changes for the show here. We're starting this new format. We're going to start doing other new stuff for the show. Just keep an eye out. There might be a new logo down the line. Who knows?
Yeah.
We got some things down the line coming. We want to give a shout out to our friend Sam. Firelord Sam from the Discord server, or AKA Fiery Sam, who's been on the show a couple times.
Well, it's Big Paparita now.
Oh, yeah, it's Big Paparita. Well, today's her birthday. So now everyone knows. And so next year, if you have it in your calendars, you can remember to say happy birthday to her.
Oh, God.
That's right. Billy's was also December 31st. So, yeah. Heads up, guys.
I don't mind. It's just her. She'll kill you now that you put it out there. I'm cleaning my hands of this one.
You introduced it on the Discord server.
Well, that's a private place.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Well, another cool thing that happened is Mark's Nerds Through Comics dropped the Mighty Morphin Boom Studios audio drama.
Yep. Their first episode.
And me and Jim reprised our roles as the Bulk and Skull podcasting on there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It was super fun.
Super fun.
There's a trailer for it that's amazing. And the actual episode itself was really good. So go check it out. We'll put links to it in the description below to Apple Podcasts and Spotify so you guys can listen to it.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Willie has some new stuff coming down the line. He's also taking a backseat a little bit on his story time stuff, so that stuff's going to be a little bit slower than normal. Besides that, though, everything else, he's right on track for what he's doing. Just keep an ear out for the Power Rangers Universe 19 stuff. And we will be doing a little promotion here later on this week for Mutants for Hire for Ty Tiger stuff.
Yes.
And I think we got Ben coming up on some things for us as well.
Oh yeah. Ben's gonna be working on some stuff for us.
This sounds like it's gonna be a fun time.
Oh yeah.
So, house clean out of the way. Ready to get started?
I've been ready. I've been ready for an hour.
You ready for an hour? All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's get this started then.
So, as I stated before, the Mighty Morphin to Turbo were all on World. We saw the transition from Jason to Tommy as the Green, the struggle, or coming to terms, coping with knowing somebody to fight, like with a formidable foe, I should say, that they knew, being introduced as the White Ranger, taking over in Zeo as the Red Ranger. Just seeing the lapse of leadership between the series, and then how he just kind of like disappears in Turbo, which introduced probably one of the best Red Rangers out there.
One of the best Rangers out there. I don't think he was one of the best Red Rangers, but I think he's one of the best Rangers altogether. Mm-hmm. I still think maybe Zeto's in the running right now for like best Red Ranger right now.
Okay, I'll give you that.
So is Jason, but it's Jason. Come on, can't be mad about him. But we got TJ out of all of this like nonsense with this failure of leadership from Tommy. We got TJ, and TJ was picked out of the blue for saving Tommy one time from a pit of darkness. Which,
yeah, that's
okay,
about right.
Cool. Yeah, like you. Okay, cool. Yeah, you. Okay, like what are the qualifications this guy got? Like, don't get me wrong. I love TJ. I think he's a fantastic Ranger. I think he's a fantastic like good person to be around. But what qualifications did he have? He should have been a Red Ranger. Like, plain and simply, should not have been a Red Ranger. Like,
right.
Well, we also had, Carlos come aboard. We had Ashley and Cassie come aboard, and they weren't really Ranger material as well. Like, Cassie kind of was. Like, she came on strong. Like, I'll give her that. She came on strong, she came on well, and she came on really confidently. But you had TJ, who was there, and then you also got a new leader, like a new head in the jar, like a new mentor with Dosia. Yeah. Who could not answer a question to save her life.
No, she questioned the questions.
Demetria, not Dosia. Question the questions with questions. Ah, that hurts so bad. And Alpha 6 didn't do anything good. That was terrible. But the most experienced person on the team was freaking Justin. He was a kid. And don't get me wrong, he did a great job. Like, he was doing fantastic. The first person to pull out his morpher consistently was Justin. He was like, "We're not doing this. We're pulling the morpher. We're up. Like, we're done with this now." And I'll give him that hands down every single time. But like, we got TJ and a whole new cast and crew who were very inexperienced, and the person who had any experience was a kid. And like, he did well trying to lead this team. He did well. Like saved the team. The team lived. The command center was gone, though. The team lived. No one got seriously hurt during the last little bit of the series where the raids started happening, and Divatox won and destroyed the command center and wrecked the Zords, and it was bad. And I think if Adam would have became the Red Ranger, I think it would have been a lot better in the situation. But they let TJ handle it, and like it. The Crucible of Fire we talked about last week, right? We talked about the Crucible of Fire. And the Crucible of Fire for TJ helped him become a better Ranger altogether. But it didn't help him become a better Red Ranger.
Right. He fit the number 2 role much better when they transitioned to In Space.
Which I personally think is a great sign of leadership.
Oh, yeah, taking a back seat.
And taking a step back, let someone else lead while being the second command and making sure everything that needs to happen happens.
Yeah, exactly.
He went from, like, commander to, like, first lieutenant and, like, completely nailed that role.
Yeah, In Space was a really kind of tricky season, in my opinion, because, like, when you first see him, he has the morphers already.
Who?
Right? Andros.
Yeah. So, okay. So Andros had a team already at one point. He had a team at one point.
Yeah. When you think about it, when you find out that Zane is on the ship in a cryostasis tube, it kind of makes you think. And in the little backstory about it, it makes you think like what happened to his original team. Mm-hmm. Like, were they present during that fight as well? Or like, did they walk off? Did they die? Like, what? It's the first time we hear that.
So we'll get back to TJ here in a minute, but I do want to talk a little bit about Andros and how his leadership style is a lot different than TJ's was. TJ was more of a happy-go-lucky, but he was very confused at what needs to happen. Like he just followed the motions. That's all he did was follow the motions of what was already going on, right?
Yeah.
Didn't do anything different. Didn't escalate. Didn't do anything else. Like he was just there doing what he needed to do. Done.
Yeah. I think he was more concerned about his sister as well.
We're talking about TJ. TJ didn't have his sister.
Oh. I was talking about Andros. Never mind.
Yeah, we're getting there. All
right.
But then you get to Andros, and you get to Andros who is broken, beaten, angry, just depressed, like not in a good place at all. And he's the Red Ranger for this team. Playing this up, he's going to be the Red Ranger, done. But he is not in a good place. Mentally, physically, emotionally, nowhere close to where he should be.
I mean, the very first episode, you see him
kills him.
Yeah, he. Well, not only that, when he's cloaked at the dinner party, like you could tell that shows signs of like him being by himself for a long time. He tries to be really headstrong about a situation.
Yeah, like he's gonna, he thinks he can take on the world by himself because, well,
exactly.
At that point, that's the only way he knows how to survive. Anything else, people die. People get hurt,
right.
People die, and it's not fun for it's not fun for him. So
do you think maybe the death of his team, maybe, I don't know exactly, canonically, TV show wise, I don't know if his team died or what, but that could probably deter him from looking for help.
It doesn't say anything in the show about his team. The only team member you actually ever see is Zane, and they don't ever talk about it.
They never.
They talked about it once, but Zane just was like, no, and just walked off.
Yeah,
that was it, and that's the only time Zane was like not happy about something. But you had Zane too. So like, okay, so like you have this mixing of personalities with Zane and Andros. Zane's very happy-go-lucky, very just energetic and happy, and positive about a lot of things. He's very positive. Then you have Andros, who's very more stoic and more reserved and like conservative with how he talks to people, and how he uses weapons and everything like that. While Zane's just out there having a good time, and I think. Because even like when they're together, you can see them kind of mix together as their friendship is.
Yeah.
And I think that Zane got hurt because Andros let him kind of be more relaxed about things. And so that's why he's such a stick up his ass about things.
Right.
He's like, I don't want anyone else getting hurt for my actions. Like, done. We're not doing this. And then you got TJ over there who shows up in space as the Blue Ranger, who's like, I get where you're coming from. I did what I did for my team, but I'm going to help you lead this team because you need the help.
Yeah.
He does a great job helping Andros kind of get out of his own way.
No telling how long Andros has been by himself, too.
Well, in the show, it was like 6 years, something like that. He was by himself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they said that Zane was in a cryo chamber for a couple years, something like that. So he was by himself for a little while, and being by yourself for a little while does things to a man.
Yeah, you're damn right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Big ship by himself in the outer galaxy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
stir crazy.
We can kind of talk about the split history though, if you want to, where the histories diverge a little bit because TJ doesn't have much in the split history, okay? There's not much going on with TJ at the moment in the comics. The spoiler warning right now, you can jump ahead by 5 minutes if you don't want any spoilers, or jump to the next commercial. We're probably going to finish it up with a commercial, and then we'll jump to the next stuff. Andros commits genocide.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So there's this race of thieves who steal the Astro Mega ship, right? And so he goes and collects the Death Ranger, and he gives Death Ranger Zane, basically. He gives him Zane's body to do whatever he wants with it to save Zane. And so the Death Ranger shows up, and they're getting the Astro Mega ship, and Jason's there, and the Death Ranger hits a button and starts killing like all these people, and Jason's like, "What's going on?" And Andros is like, "It has to be done." And you're like, "What? Did Andros just go full genocide on us? What's going on here?" And yeah, dude, Andros commits genocide, and it's not okay because he's broken. He's very broken. To be fair, at the split history of what we're going with right now, KL-35 is done. Like, there's nothing left of it. People are dead. Everything's gone. And so him and Zane are like the last two of his people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it gives it a way different headspace than he was in the beginning of In Space.
Yeah.
Because his people are still alive at that point. But at this, no. There's no...
And that's kind of why I like reading the PR comics, is because there's much darker side to it.
Yeah.
Something that they can't show on kid TV.
Yeah, well, they can not show it, but they can mention it or like allude to it and stuff, which is fine, but they can't actually directly talk about it. But
right.
The comic's been doing a great, especially the split history stuff, because you get to see a very different take on these characters from, like, you know, they're the kind of where you think it's going to go, and then it gets complete. And they lead it down in a different way. You're like, okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
But, he's in the same headspace, roughly the same headspace where he was at the beginning of In Space. And you can see Andros, especially in the comics, Andros not being okay. And no one notices it right away that he's not okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, first impressions matter, and I guess his first impression was completely different.
Well, he shows up to the Omega Rangers, and Jason's like, well, he needs our help. And no one notices the fact that, you know, his people just all died. Like, no one, like, caught that right off the bat. So, yeah, it's rough. And then, you know, you got Draken as well, which, you know, the comic series is fun. And they give Kimberly a lot of stuff in the Pink, Power Rangers Pink.
Yeah, they give her a lot.
Yeah, and she goes, it's fun. Okay. We're not talking about her. We're talking about leaderships. But,
well, she did. She was technically.
She became a leader for her team.
For her Pink team.
There's also, you know, Ranger Slayer, who became the king or queen. Yeah. Of New Dawn. So Kimberly has a lot of leadership potential as well, but we're talking about In Space at the moment. Though we can kind of cut to a break if you want to.
Yeah.
Haha.
Do it.
You're looking for that one special toy? You're looking to find that part of your collection that you can't find anywhere else? You want to come on down to Finster's Figures. He got everything. Anything you're going to want, he can probably find it. If you're looking for that Zat Megazord, or you're looking for that one Megazord that you just can't find the Dragon part for, you go down to Finster Figures. If you need to have those classic collection that Sam got of those 1998 walkie-talkies, you go to Finster Figures. He got them in stock. And if he doesn't get them in stock, he can find them for you. If you can't find them for you, he's going to go and steal them from Sam. That again is Finster Figures on 4th and 35th Street. So we're coming back from the break. We were talking about Andros. We were talking a little bit about the split history of Andros and spoiler warnings and stuff like that. But we're going to talk more about the show Andros now, because we actually, you know, see him complete his arc. And so, you know, you see this Andros who lost his best friend, who's like completely broken about how to deal with people. He's going on and on about how he can't like let his like new teammates die. You know, he's like, oh, if I let these new teammates out of my sight, they're gonna die. But then you got TJ there, like, dude, just let them do their thing. Trust them. They're good people. They're good. Like, they're gonna do what they need to do. And so you come down to the episode where Adam comes back, right? So Carlos is having issues with hitting Cassie because of Monster of the Week, right? And
right.
Andros doesn't do anything about it. He's just like, well, he'll figure it out because he understands and trusts in TJ that Carlos is going to figure it out. Right?
Right.
Because he understands that his team, you know, it takes them a second, but they'll get it. They'll get it figured out. They have their own resources. he doesn't have to micromanage them at all. He doesn't have to. They're just letting them do their own thing. Because that's what he needs to do. Because before, at the beginning of the show, at the beginning of the series, he was micromanaging everything. And it was driving him insane, and it was not doing him any good. And then you get later in the series where you sort of see, the Rangers doing individual tasks and doing things individually. Like the Psycho Rangers, they showed up. Even then, it was terrifying, but he trusted TJ.
Yeah.
And understanding that TJ had a plan to take out the Blue Psycho Ranger.
That was my next point, is that he let TJ figure out a plan.
Yep.
Yeah,
TJ had a great idea. It's fantastic. And we got to see TJ be amazing again and again and again in this series. There's even an episode where TJ and Andrews both have amnesia, right?
I don't know. I haven't seen the series in so long.
Oh, come on. Okay. So there's an episode where TJ and Andrews get amnesia, and they have to figure out how to get back to what they're doing. So they're trying to figure it out, and TJ takes the lead, but then he knows he can't handle the pressure, so he gives it back to Andrews. You got this. I know what you're doing. Voila, I'll let you take the lead on this. I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but if you give me instructions, I can make it happen. Right. And it shows that, even at a fundamental level, TJ understands who he is and knows how to make sure his leadership path is support. He does his support super well.
Right.
That's why I like TJ. TJ's such a good character.
He was a great number 1, but in our hearts, he's a solid 2.
Isn't that a little racist?
No. Not at all.
He was a fantastic Ranger. And then you got Andrews, who at the end of the series, you see him, let his team do their thing, and then, but he still has his moments where he's like, I have to do it myself, where he, on the Count of Destruction, where he's there at the campfire, and Ashley's like, are you okay? He's like, I will be, and he just leaves.
Right.
Because he knows he's the only one who can get into the Astronomous ship at that point in time. And he knew the other Rangers were going to be okay. Either way, either he succeeds and everyone dies, or they succeed and no one, only he dies.
Yeah, and then at the end of the season, you see him basically take actions into his own hands, and for the greater good. He didn't think about himself at that point. No. He thought about everyone. You see him develop into that. Yeah, where he had to release a Z-Wave.
He's no longer self-centered. He's no longer just focusing on the team. He's focusing on everyone else. Knows if he has to, he can give it all up and be done with it. And he's like, I can't do it. And someone's like, you have to. He's like, I can't do it. And someone's like, you got to. He's like, I'll do it because you told me to. Because I know how. I know who I'm looking like. I know who I'm listening to. Though I don't know why he was looking for Zordon to begin with.
I honestly don't know either. That's odd.
Yeah, I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, I know he's just traveling around doing stuff. And
Zordon had connections to him.
Yeah, Zordon, he did.
And he knew about him coming across Earth. He knew about the whole NASDA organization. That actually leads us into our next question, or our next little topic. What makes a good leader in the Power Rangers, and is it always the red color?
Yeah.
Which I don't think so. I don't think it's always going to be red.
I don't think it's always going to be red either. Red is the primary color. Red is the one who deals with the most flack for the most part. But there's other leaders out there. For example, we have Time Force Pink. She was a fantastic leader.
She was the true leader in that series. Yeah.
You had Taylor, the Wild Force Yellow, who was fantastic as well.
Oh, yeah.
Dylan, down the road at RPM, was a great leader. He's a great focus character. He's not a leader, but he's a great focus character. Right. We got a couple. We got a couple down the road. We'll get to them when we get to them. We got 2 more episodes this month. That's right, 2 more episodes.
Oh, God, no.
We'll get to it.
Ain't so.
Oh, yeah. How do you guys feel about that? I expect half of you to turn the podcast off and just walk away.
Probably so. I wouldn't doubt it.
This nonsense.
I'll probably do this when I'm re-listening to it.
Yeah. So the next person I do want to talk about real quick is going to be Leo.
Right.
And Leo, next section of leadership is Leo is a character who did not want to be a leader at all. He didn't want the leadership position. He didn't want it.
Nope.
The only thing he wanted to do was get on Terra Venture. That's all he wanted to do was get on the ship.
That's all his main prime objective was.
Yep, that was it. He was a rich kid who could not get on it, and his brother got on it, and he's like, oh, damn.
Yeah, there's so many questions because I just rewatched the season. There's so many... Like when he gets on Terra Venture and he throws on the military outfit, right, to blend in, isn't there like some sort of protocol that these military people, because they sent him right to the moon with live fire action.
Well, at that point, the only people wearing uniform should be the military people.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't they have like a roll call or anything? Or when they're boarding the ship, they're like, okay, well, everyone's accounted for. Well, who's this extra guy?
It could be a straggler. Who knows? You know,
I had just so many questions. And then
what's going on with this nonsense? And then they get
going on?
And then they get teleported away. And dude, like that's the most tragic scene. Like episode 1 where Mike dies in episode 1. Like his older brother dies. Episode 1. Oh my goodness!
Spoiler alert. Technically, he doesn't die. He just
it's a 25-year-old show.
Yeah, there's just so many questions. Like, the portal opens up, and they go out and they get them, pull them back for the swords, for the Quasar sabers, and then they just live on Terra Venture. And how does not anybody notice the damn Galacta Beast? Where are they being held? Because you see multiple times them talking to these things.
Mm-hmm. Morphing grid. Let's go with that.
That's all.
Just for now, we'll get to more questions and stuff later next month or the month after that when we get to the case.
I just got so many questions.
Don't worry, we'll get to that when we get into the conspiracy stuff, which is coming soon. But I do want to talk about Leo a lot more because Leo is a fantastic leader who developed from not wanting to be a leader to becoming one of the best leaders of all time.
He was really, you see the even though Lost Galaxy was kind of rushed, felt like, and not very good production wise. His arc was really great. Yeah, his arc was real great though.
Well, yeah, he went from being not wanting to be a leader at all to wanting to give back the leadership position to his brother, and then becoming like one of the best leaders ever. Like, okay, so the entire first half of the season before Mike returns. So Mike does return. His brother does return at one point. But the entire time, he does not feel like he belongs in the leadership position. He's constantly second-guessing himself, constantly making mistakes. He just never he has no confidence. He's like, I should not be here. Because the Quasar Sabers select the person they're going to use, right?
That's right. Right.
He's always like, I'm not the one. It wasn't me. It was our brother. Like, I don't know why you all look up at me. Like, I don't belong here. Like, the only reason I'm here was because of him. I'm not the one you think I am. And
there's a little, like, one episode arc when Corone has to go get the battle star.
Oh, yeah.
The battle key.
Yeah.
Gotta get, and I feel that episode, she led by example. Like, you can change. People could change. You know, you could do things differently. And I really like that episode because you could see it in his face. Like, she was this evil ruler.
Yeah.
And now she's good. She's fighting alongside with them now.
Yeah, she's a bad guy who became a good guy. And, like,
became a good guy.
You can grow into the person you're supposed to be.
Exactly.
And I think that helped Leo actually figure out who he was. Yeah. But it also helped the fact that Mike gave him back the sword. It's like, it doesn't want me. It wants you.
Exactly.
And it hit Leo like a Mack truck.
Yeah.
It hit him like a Mack truck because, like, it was you who pulled it out of the stone. He's like, but it chose you.
It did. I mean, like, it chose Corone.
Yeah, it chose Corone. You know? Corone was able to use it. And, like, it was a great moment because you see, like, Leo right after that become more confident in who he is.
Oh, very.
And easily start becoming a lead, like taking control of the situation, understanding what everyone's doing, like really comes together, really pulls everything together, and it's really cool to watch it happen. because you start seeing this man who was making mistakes and low self-confidence finally truly understanding who he is. And you see the transformation like not overnight, but it's very quick. To the point to where he's willing to self-sacrifice himself to even try to save like a handful of people. Like he's trying, and then like he watches his brother like die again.
Yeah,
He
that's
watches
right.
his brother die again, and he's less fazed by it. He's like, it had to happen. Well, we have no time for this right now. We'll grieve later. I must help people.
Right.
But he understood that grieving had to happen. Like, it's going to happen, but like, there's no time for it at the moment. He needs to get stuff done.
No. In that moment, he was more worried
Yeah.
about being hooked up and destroying that big bad.
Yeah. Oh man. I feel like Lost Galaxy was like one of the more tragic stories.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because like you watch you watch all like Kira, the Yellow Ranger, right?
Yeah.
You
Kira.
watch her entire like world get frozen in stone. You watch Mike die twice.
Hold on, I don't think that's her name.
Let's find out. Da, 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 da. Load you on Whitley Beast.
Maya.
Okay.
That's it.
Maya, no last name.
That's right. Oh yeah. But yeah, you've. I guess the first big tragic thing you do see in Lost Galaxy is Maya's world becoming stone.
Yeah, you can watch it become stone.
Yeah.
Then you watch Mike die, and then you watch Kendrick's die. Like death is a thing in this series.
Yes.
And they freaking grieve over Kendra dying. They
that was like a
grieve-
good 3 episodes too.
Oh my goodness, that was insane. They were trying to give the powers to Cassie, which that would have been really cool seeing Cassie come back. But Corona came back for that, and she was a fantastic Pink Ranger.
Yes. Oh yeah.
She was great at it. And like, you see, I feel like the tone for this series was death and hope.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, death, hope, and growing.
Right.
And you watch his characters go from like not wanting to have these powers to being like full, true blown heroes, being led by a person who finally became who he's supposed to be.
By mistake.
By mistake. Like Kai didn't want to be a ranger at all. Damien didn't want to be a ranger. Maya wanted to be a ranger. Kendricks was like, "Oh, cool, I can be the ranger." Leo did not want to be a ranger.
No.
And then you watch Damien and Kai become like really good rangers. Like they're fantastic rangers. They're doing they do everything really well. And then the Galactic Beasts follow their lead, and it's very very good.
Damien was a real good ranger. Like you can see, he always wanted to redeem himself when he messes up.
Yeah, he actually understands. Like, well, he's also a mechanic, so you take ownership of your faults, because if you don't, you're not a good mechanic.
Right.
Yeah, if you can't take ownership in what you messed up, then well, sir, I got stuff to talk about with you.
Right.
But what we'll do is we're going to take a real quick break, just like Mike did for a little bit in that series.
Oh God.
We're right back. Do you have class action lawsuits against you? Do you want to sue someone? Are you an American? Do you want to be an American? Are you a Power Ranger? Do you want to have a legal battle with Hasbro? Do you have legal discussions with Disney? Don't call me. Call our lawyer at the Zero to Hero hotline. 555-553-5153. I forgot the number already, but call that number if you have any questions for the Zero to Hero lawyer. Muy gusto, Espanol. We're not your average family lawyer. Contact the law offices of Zero to Hero, and Zero to Hero.
Oh, Jim.
You got a fire in your heart?
Did you hear about you heard about the chocolate record player?
What happened with the chocolate record player?
It sounds pretty sweet.
Did I ever tell you about the two radios getting married?
What about him?
The wedding was kind of meh, but the reception was great.
Jane, shut up. Shut the up. I'll let you beat that.
All right. All right, we're coming back in, though, and we're going to talk about one of the coolest Rangers there is.
Yes.
Carter.
Yeah,
The
from
Red
Lightspeed Rescue.
The Red Lightspeed Ranger. The Ranger who's like, what's going to happen? Shows up to the scene and sees a monster. What does he do first? Starts blasting. No questions asked.
Right.
He's going to start blasting. Like, that's what he does.
Lightspeed Rescue was an actual very interesting season. This one was
More family based.
like Lost Galaxy. They had jobs within the colony.
But the thing about it is people knew who they were.
Yeah. But in Lightspeed, this was their actual like professions. Yeah. Like this was what their profession was.
EMT, rock climber, which is still weird.
And a lot of people, no, I would say a lot of people. There's a distinct difference between job and profession.
Yeah.
So
job, you wake up in the morning, you and profession, you wake up in the morning, go. Very distinct us.
But yeah, so this was an actual season where they were professionals that got drafted into. Well, no, I wouldn't say drafted.
They were recruited
forcefully into an underwater aqua base
by Captain Mitchell.
Yes,
whose daughter was there too, fighting their son with a bunch of demons. Was this? You sure this was in the season of Charmed?
Sure.
Charmed.
But yeah, so let's talk about Carter, because Carter was an absolute beast
in there, guns a-blazing as like one of the best leaders in the whole team, like the whole series. Like he busts in there. Like but you see, well, to be fair, he was a firefighter. He was a captain of a firefighting squad, so he already knew how to handle like leadership stuff. He was like, all right, this is what we're doing. This is our orders. This is what we have to do. Like, we're doing these things. He understood that his team had very special skill sets, and understood that those skill sets are very unique to them. And like, all right, you know what you're doing. Like, we got this down to a science. Like, they got us all figured out. You know what you're doing. 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 Let's do these things.
Right.
And I think it's very professional.
Yeah, I mean, you can see through in the season when they have to rescue people that each ranger was able to use their ability to save people.
So when the titanium morpher showed up, right? So Mayfeather? No, Mayfeather. What's her name? The science ladies.
I can't remember her name. Mayweather? Fairweather. That's right.
They showed up with the morpher, right? The titanium morpher. And we're over there, and they're over there, and Carter's like, well, I don't want to like risk anyone on the team because the only thing I'm doing is I'm a firefighter. That's it. I'm a leader. You don't really need me. If something happens, like I'm the expendable one. And so they're trying to figure out who can use it. And so they give it to Carter to see if he can handle it, and he can't handle it. But he knew he's the one, like, I'm the expendable one. I'm just a firefighter. That's all I am. Like, I don't know how to, like, I can swim, but I'm not, I'm not an aqua expert. I'm not an EMT. I'm not, a rock climber. I'm not a pilot. I'm just a firefighter. I'm a dime a dozen. I know who's the weak link in this combination. It's me. And so he's the one who tries it out, which I think is really cool because it's like self-sacrifice because he's like, I'm the one who could die.
Right.
But even when Ryan shows up, and like he's Carter's the first one when Ryan becomes a good guy, right? He's the first one who's like notices that Ryan's having a problem controlling his power and stuff. Like seeing that he's having issues, and Carter's the one who's like, hey, what's going on? There's something going on here. What is it? I don't know what it is because, you're not telling anyone, but what's going on?
Right.
He's the one that picks it up. And, I feel like this block of Red Rangers understands that people are different and people like leadership isn't always commanding everything. It's understanding who your friends or who your colleagues are in these situations, understanding what their strengths and weaknesses are, understanding how to use them to the best of their own abilities.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's really cool.
And exactly, like, it leads back to what makes a great leader within it. Mm-hmm. And that's what it is: perception of others and their, the pros and cons and strengths and weaknesses, I should say.
Strength, weaknesses, and people. It's like a really intricate chess match. Like you understand who people are and what what they're good at, what they're bad at, and understanding where you can place them in situations. And Carter had that down to a science. And he was like,
"Yeah,
you're going to do this. You're going to do this. You're going to do this. You're going to do this."
Yeah, exactly.
And
well, as a firefighter, I mean, that should be already broken down within a company.
It's he already knows what he's doing. It's fine. It's like it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I liked Carter a lot. I think Carter's one of the best Rangers, ever. One of the best leaders in the Ranger sets because, he understood what his orders were. He understood what he had to do, and he understood that, you go down fighting in these situations because he was up against a bunch of demons who did not care that human life existed. He's like, they don't care about us. Like, we're going to keep going, and I'm going to go down to the last minute.
Yeah.
To everything I can do. And I
always thought it was funny, the theory or the premise of Lightspeed Rescue. Like, oh, hey, you're a mountain climber, you're a pilot, firefighter, EMT. Yeah, go fight those demons.
Like, do you know how to do karate? Nope, now you do.
Now you do.
That was pretty funny.
I always liked the concept of it. I think it was pretty funny.
Oh, man. Yeah. Like, what can you do? Not fight karate? Well, you're going to learn it now.
You're going to have to learn it now.
Man, they even went to space. So, like, you guys ready to go to space? No? Well, you do now.
Well, you do now.
Oh, man. And Carter took that all in stride. He's like, well, we're going to space, guys.
Yep. I'm a firefighter in space.
What are you? Firefighter. Where? In space.
In space.
I feel like they got the idea for Armageddon because of that.
Armageddon was after that. Before that.
Probably before that, but I want to reference. Well, let's see. Let me see real quick. I want to know now. Lightspeed Rescue came out in 2000.
Armageddon, I think, was like early 90s.
98.
Oh, well, it was close. Okay.
That means the Sentai footage got the idea for Rangers in space using drilling tools from Armageddon, because the Sentai came out in 99.
That's a hard stretch, but I'll allow it.
I'm not saying we're conspiracy theorists, but we're going to have a conspiracy theory episode at some point.
Yeah, at some point. We're going to cover this.
We're going to make sure we fully understand what's going on here.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, yeah, Carter was really cool, and it was really, really fun. And the next season we could talk about really quickly if you want to. The next season we're going to have to Lightspeed Rescue is Time Force.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. And who's the leader in that series?
Jen.
Dang right.
Wes.
What happened with Wes?
Ya.
Wes became a leader. Holy crap, he became a great leader. But
well,
who was the leader of the series? It was Jen. Jen was the leader.
Oh, yeah.
No ifs or buts about that. She was the leader for a long time until Wes got his shit together. But Jen was a fantastic leader. She was like, we're not playing games here, guys. We're going to win.
Yeah. I mean, for God's sakes, she goes in straight bullying him and stuff.
Yeah, she did. So I'm going to rephrase the statement. She wasn't a great leader. She was a leader of her team.
Yes.
A great leader for her team because she was from a different place and time.
She had to do what had to be done.
She was dealing with loss. She was dealing with sadness. And she was dealing with rage. Lots and lots of rage and revenge.
For God's sake, she watched her husband die.
Mm-hmm. Husband died, not in his own timeline.
Yeah, exactly. Not even in their own time.
Nope, terribleness. But we do get to watch Wes become a leader over time and get bullied and made fun of. And
yep.
I feel like Wes's actual like transformation to leader, who he became, was a real trial by fire. Like seriously, got bullied constantly by the Pink Ranger. Like he got made fun of all the time by all the other Rangers. No one.
Do you think the Time Force organization had therapy?
I assume they would have at some point, or it just started normalized at that point that you didn't need therapy.
Right.
You're going to be traveling through time. This doesn't, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. You're going to lose people constantly.
Yeah.
Because once you normalize something, you don't need therapy for it anymore.
It'd be like that whole like off of Rick and Morty, the mind benders, where they would just like take the memory out of a tube.
Oh my goodness!
Probably
There's a whole
like that.
like stack of tubes of sprocket
Memories.
Sprocket removing memories from people.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this is too volatile for a memory for you.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I kind of know what Lucas was there for. Like the Blue Ranger, he was there to drive cars. That was it.
Oh, well, what a coincidence.
That was it.
Now,
So what are you good at? Driving cars.
driving cars.
Anything else?
Even though his toy was released with the motorcycle.
Yep. What, did you get one?
Oh, I got one. Yeah,
How is it?
I haven't opened it.
Still in the box. Still in the box.
Still in the box.
Is that how it is? I went the green Time Force Ranger. I thought he was the most interesting.
Trip.
Trip was great.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
But yeah, so it doesn't matter if you're red or black or pink or purple or whatever color you are. Leadership comes in all shapes, forms, and sizes. It doesn't matter. You can be a leader, even being the Blue Ranger, be a leader.
Right, exactly.
And I think we kind of proved that here tonight, that it doesn't matter what color your suit is, you can still be the best person you can be, and the person that you deserve to be, like the person you're supposed to be, or the person you're good at being.
Right.
It doesn't matter what color your suit is.
I mean, far ahead, SPD shows that.
Many times, yeah. Oh my
many
goodness.
times.
SPD has a great arc of Jack and Sky.
Yes.
Oh, that's a fantastic arc.
And that's a whole different can of tomatoes.
Yeah, that's a whole different other can of tomatoes we'll get into later.
Exactly.
Heck, we can probably do a whole episode on their relationship.
Dude, there's a whole bunch in SPD.
Mm-hmm. Heck, Sid? Oh my goodness, Sid.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can get into that later. But, all right. So what we'll do is we're going to wrap up here. Closing in on an hour for us recording. And Millie and Billy only like each other for about an hour at a time.
That's all I can stand. We're coming up on it, so I'm starting to hate you.
Real quick, yeah. So if you want to join the conversation and hang out with us a little bit more, you can find us over at discord.zeotohero.com or zeotohero across the board on all our social medias.
Yeah, send a message. Usually me and Jim will reply back, and we can, if you ever want to be on an episode with us, feel free. We love like outside voices than ours. Who said that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, we're getting more of a script idea going for everything. So if you want to be on the episode with us, we have talking points now. We have stuff you can work with. So it's not like you're coming on here just BSing with us for an hour.
Right.
Well, you are, but it's gonna be focused BS.
Yeah, definitely.
If you want to give us other topics you want to hear about, shoot us a message at zeotohero@gmail.com or on the Discord server. There's a Q&A. There's a Q&A channel, so if you ever have a question that you want us to answer or something like that, and you want us to answer on the show, we'll totally answer on the show.
Oh, yeah.
That reminds me, we actually have a couple. We have one.
Do we?
I think pertains to this. What do you think would happen if the coins were chosen evil side?
That's a good, interesting idea.
Mm-hmm. We can answer that really quick.
What if the coins chose an evil side?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, say if Rita had the coins and she enlisted her own evil rangers using the actual coins. Well, I mean, would the grid allow it?
Well, I think it'd be more along the lines of like Psycho Rangers. Like it would be a bad guy team, but we would have a similar setup as the normal Power Rangers team.
Would the flip script?
Leader, it would be them causing damage, but it'd also have a leader, a second command, a third of two secondary characters.
What if we had flipped the script and Rita was the Zordon and she had 5 teenagers with attitude because their parents never took them to Hot Topic. And then Zordon could be the new Rita. And then he would have to create. No, because he.
He's a space wizard in a tube, man. He's not creating anything.
No, tough. Okay, outside of that, probably MMPR, you could probably see it in other seasons.
Like you had bad guy SPD Rangers. Come on,
Yeah,
it'd be very similar to what our current setup is. We have a leader who understood where their team is going to be and doing, and they can adjust their team however they need to.
I mean, even Zed had his own Dark Rangers.
Yes, in the comics they had Putty Rangers that were actually like Rita and like the bad guys. It was a Rita Putty that was really overpowered. It was really weird. But all right,
okay,
let's wrap this up. Billy, where can people find you at?
Well, you've already answered that.
People can find our Zero to Hero one everywhere. But where can people find you? You want people to find you somewhere else?
I mean, if you want
enough, people know we're looking for you.
If you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm One Texas Billy or Lightning Inbox Collect on Instagram.
Man, that is so. You should change the Twitter one to Lightning Inbox or something like that.
Damn, good idea.
I'm chock full of something to swear.
Shut up.
And you can find me across the board at Not So Funny Jim.
He's not really funny.
I am not funny at all.
We just tolerate him.
Don't get me wrong, I am not funny whatsoever, but I will more than happily admit to it.
Oh, and get ready, because in about 3 weeks, we're going to have a lot of pictures from Retromania. We're going to go and look at all these toys. We're going to get to meet the In-Space cast. It's going to be fun.
But you're also getting a bunch of Funkos. We'll go down there.
I'm going to get a Funko. I'm going to get Funkos.
You get a lot of Funkos. I'm going to give you my whole collection of Funkos, but these last two you gave me.
Oh, right. Okay. All right.
A bunch of Funkos. Like a lot of them.
Damn it.
Good luck. Have fun.
Bye.
Hope you don't cry.
Do you want to be a hero, but you're not? Do you want to be a Jiro or a Kojiro, but you can't because you're not Japanese? Have you considered zeotoheropod? Remember, heroes come and go. Idiots are forever. Jubilee!
Yeah, I don't know much about Carter. I never really watched that season.
Oh, okay. Well, Carter's a total badass.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Well, as a firefighter, I mean, you got to be.
Well, he goes out blasting all the time. He's blasting constantly. That's his first move is blasting shit.
Right.
It's like, oh, cool, demons blast. What are you gonna do? Gun.
Gun, stronger sword.
What works? Gun works. Gun works real good.
Yeah, gun make pow pow.
Exactly. It's like what happens. Like gun makes real good. Gun is real good. It works real nice.